Hi, I'm Meg.
And I'm David.
Welcome to The Average Vegans, a podcast to help you live an attainable vegan lifestyle. We're not the ripped influencer vegans you hear about in other podcasts. We're just some ordinary people living in the South, eating plants and loving animals.
And on today's episode, we're discussing apps that make our lives easier.
And better.
And better. And
in whatever way.
It just, just generally makes things better and easier. And easier
There
and
you
better. Go. Or beezier. Just going to combine the two.
Oh, man. You always got to take it like one step too far.
That's what I do. I do everything one step too far. Trust me, I've had a lot of people in my life go, why? Why'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I had to go one more. Why not?
Listen, it's fine. I've accepted it.
At this point, you kind of have to,
right? Yes. Okay, so we're talking about apps to make our lives easier and better, as we said.
I said easier.
Stop it.
Okay,
we have some categories. We're going to talk about some vegan apps, some mental health, productivity, physical health, and just for fun. Because you have to have a fun category.
Now, I didn't include games so much in the ones that I add to the list. I probably could have, but I kind of passively play. Most of the games I play are like little puzzle games and stuff. So I'm not that interesting. And it's more like I'm sitting there waiting for my rice to finish cooking the air fryer to stop. I'm like, okay, match the cat food tiles. And, oh, cool, there we go. But yeah, I think.
One of the ones we have in the for fun category is it's taken over my life a little bit. So
fair enough.
All right, let's start with the vegan apps that make our lives easier. The first one being like the vegan app Holy Grail, the Happy Cow app. This comes in handy more often than you will ever realize until it becomes a part of your life. It helps you find vegan, vegetarian, exclusive, and friendly restaurants near you, no matter where you are.
Well, you can. It also not only does restaurants. It does like stores and I'm thinking grocery stores and health food stores and like that. Just because it goes beyond restaurants, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it makes it so that like if you want it to be exclusively vegan or vegetarian, you can find that, but you can also find places that, are vegan friendly so that if you have someone with you that is not vegan, that's a good option for both of you. It's really just like a Google Maps for restaurants and groceries that are friendly to what we eat and what we were looking for. It's pretty great. I've used it so many places for travel. It's very helpful when you're traveling, but also like when you start a new job, knowing like what's available near you, around you. If you are with friends at some point and everybody decides they're hungry, it's a super easy app to help you guys find something that everybody can enjoy.
It's also great for helping you find things that are in your area you didn't know about.
Yes,
I've actually used it for that. I've actually been on it before, and I was
like, never tried.
What the heck is that? Ooh, kind of like I didn't know they had like vegan nachos. We can have vegan nachos for dinner. Fantastic.
That's true. It kind of lets you know about little hidden gems that you didn't realize were there. That's true. That's definitely come up for me too.
Yeah, there's a free
Happy
version.
Cow.
There's a free version and free version and a pro version, and I have the pro version. It's not that I think it's a couple bucks, and if you can afford it, it's worth it because I've been dealing with Happy Cow like since back in the day, so it used to be kind of questionable as far as its layout, but it's a lot better nowadays.
So why is the paid version better? Like, why is it worth it?
It has more filters and more options, and it gives you. I think it actually saves data for you as well. It's one of those things I've used for so long.
That's handy.
Yeah, I've used for so long. It's like I don't even remember what the non-paid version is like. But yeah, I do know it offers you better filtering options, and it gives you, I think, a better UI. Gives you more information on the actual user interface.
Okay.
To the point where I
Fancy.
actually like got the pro version because I found it more useful.
That's a good tip for people too, because I have the free version. So, okay. Another one that is used is a vegan app called Barnivore, and it helps you find vegan wine. Does it? You can do like beer too,
Oh
right?
yeah,
On that
any
app.
alcohols.
I've only ever looked for
Yeah,
wine.
is it an app or is it only on the
Okay,
web?
because I've only ever looked for wine. Oh, it might just be a website. You're
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Shit.
No,
Well, whatever.
oh, Megan, language.
I never even thought about it. Whatever. I
Uh,
didn't even think about it because I just think immediately that
no,
this
it's
is helpful.
well. I
So
mean, technically,
listen,
technically, it is a web application.
there you
As
go.
a
Listen,
as web
you're going
apps
to let me
developer,
get by with this one because it's very helpful.
I build web apps, so I consider it an app. Yeah, it's an app. Yeah, it's
There you go.
fantastic.
There you go.
I, I,
Um,
I use it. I use it constantly. Constantly. Oh my god! No, I use it whenever I go into anywhere. I tell you what's really helpful. Because some like liquor stores actually know like what they have and the options are. You'd be surprised with what they know. It's extremely helpful if you're in a non-liquor store situation, like you're at, like the grocery store. Like Kroger is fantastic because Kroger
mm-hmm.
almost none of their wines are vegan. Uh, so I
Oh,
use it really heavily, like Kroger or like a Whole Foods and stuff like that, where someone may not know or there's no one around to ask. I found it to be a lot more handy in those situations.
yeah. I've used it in Sprouts many times. Just standing in the aisle, just searching things that look good. Very, very helpful. And we're just going to say it's an app. So we're going to keep on going.
That counts.
I mean, I'm sure there's other vegan apps that you can use, but these are really the only two that the two of us really have used frequently that have made our lives better. But we want to hear from you guys. What vegan friendly apps do you recommend? What should we be using that we aren't using? Because, we don't know everything.
No, you
I
don't.
mean, all right. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, we're going to move on to some mental health apps. This is my favorite category because I've got some good ones in this one. So my first one is the Insight Timer app. I will say, kind of hate the name, but it's whatever. Um, it's a meditation app. It also has like some sleep stuff in it too. But what I love about it is there is a wide variety of options. You can do a guided meditation, which is what I do most of the time. Someone is speaking and leading you through the meditation. You can do timed ones. There's one specifically for sleep. There's meditations with like music. There's like yoga on here. There's all kinds of stuff. You can take courses. It's incredibly helpful. The meditation, being able to like filter through time that how much time do I have to devote to my meditation today, and being able to filter through that is really helpful. Um, I don't think I've ever listened to the same person.
Hmm.
There's different teachers and different people leading the meditation. And maybe it's because I pick a different kind of focus like all the time. I get a different teacher all the time. And I kind of love that. It's not like the same voice, it's not some almost like listening to an audiobook. Sometimes that voice can get a little like annoying or monotone. It's not like the same thing. It's somebody different each time. You can also like if you feel like listening to a man's voice or a more feminine voice, you can also pick through that way too. So it's really a great app. I love it so much. I recommend it to everyone I know. There is another app that's very similar called Calm, and it's been recommended by quite a few people. I'm sure, most people have heard of this one as well.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Um, yeah, and it has a free version, but I think there's also some like paid options as well. It's a meditation and sleep app as well. It has some of the same kind of options, by time, by what kind of subject you're focusing on, anxiety or stress or sleep or whatever. So, we've just talked about how I love meditation and I'm trying to make it more of a consistent habit in my life. So, Insight Timer is one of my number one recommendations for mental health. And if you find you don't like that one, you should try Calm as well because they're both very popular and very similar. So, there's my first recommendations. Okay.
I'll
You want to pick one now?
Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, it's what's real quick. It's funny, like looking through this list, how much you've added. And when this was first suggested, you were like, I don't really use apps. Like you put way more than I did on the list.
Listen, once I focus, I can get stuff.
That's fair.
I
That's
forget.
fair. And once I focus, I go, what's that? And forget what I was doing. What were we doing? All right. Recording. So for me, it's sleep sounds. I've used this one for a bit. They
Mm-hmm.
actually did a recent update. I haven't used it recently because I haven't needed it. It's an app I use when I'm usually not unable to get to sleep. And the sleep sounds perfect. Um,
Right.
and it was like super rudimentary. Like way when I first started using it, it was terrible. I'm not terrible in the way that the user. Everyone's just to preface this that statement. Or to postface after the fact. Anyway,
I
uh,
don't even know.
postamble. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. But I'm a UI guy. I'm a web developer by trade, and I'm a UI developer. So I work with what you see and what you click and the buttons, interactions, and animations and stuff. So the UI is like a big deal for me. And so the UI was terrible, but the actual the UX, the user experience was good because the sounds were great and the controls. They actually
Right.
dramatically changed the user interface of it, which is nice. But you basically can set sounds, but you can mix sounds. So
Ooh.
like what I usually do is I usually do a little bit of campfire, a little bit of like rain in the distance with some crickets and maybe a little some owls. Basically, like I'm camping. It's essentially what I kind of like
Right.
set it for. And then you can you set like a timer like to go off and like turn itself off in like 10 minutes or 2 hours, whatever. So you're like, oh, I'll probably go to sleep in about I probably need about 2 hours to get to sleep. Put it in 2 hours, set it down. After that time goes off, it just turns itself off.
Oh, so handy.
Yeah, and you can set the levels. Like you can really, you can set like the volume levels. So if you want to, like, if you want a little bit louder fire, but a little bit quieter, ocean or something, you can
Mm-hmm.
kind of play with
Mm-hmm.
the sound, like actual mix, and get your own little mix. You can even, I don't. Again, I know when I first used it, you could save your mix. It's been a while since I've used it. I probably since their latest update, so I assume you can still save. But I loved saving like my little sound, and so when I come back to it, I go play the sound again. You know,
Right.
so catch some
I feel like I
Z's.
perfected it. I need to save it.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. Like you need to like, okay, I know I need this much of this, that, a little bit of crackle, less rain, maybe some random thunder. That's what's good for me, and you save that and use that's what I need. That's what I need in a sleep app. Find the sounds I like, put a timer on, and then repeat that whenever I need it. Bop, bop. So
Right, exactly.
that's one of mine.
And we have something that's very similar to that too,
Mm.
right? So there's another app. Again, we didn't mean to do this. It just happens that there's a lot of apps that are similar. Okay. We asked for suggestions, and one of our friends recommended Wax Melodies, which sounds like it's very much like sleep sounds. And it's an app that helps create like sleepscapes, so you can make your own like little playlist of sleep sounds.
Yeah.
But it's again like combining sounds together. It's literally the same kind of thing, so that's pretty cool. And our friend Rosie, she likes to make one called Hawaiian Dreams. Oh my god, I have to do this. So she combines ocean waves crashing, wind and palm trees, and a tidal pool sound. Oh, I like that. See, I think the problem I have, and this is me in my brain, I have used these kinds of apps for years until in May when we had a massive flood in our home.
Oh yeah.
And I always use the sound of water, like rain or water coming down. And now I have such a panic because I experienced a massive flood from the upstairs rushing down the downstairs. So, like, the sound of water rushing almost is like a little scary for me. So, I'm going to have to pick something that doesn't include water,
Just
perhaps.
it's
Maybe
like
just some wind,
just
some
like yeah, it's
hooting
like
or
wind or like
something.
it's like wind or like desert sounds. Just like
Oh,
some sort of
yeah, desert.
I don't know what desert sounds are. I guess the sounds of scorpions go across. I don't know, but scurrying insects. I guess I don't know, and snakes slithering
No,
across the sand. I don't know what are desert sounds. I don't know what that even is. A
I
camel
don't
every
know.
now
We're
and
gonna
then
have to find out.
or something. I don't know. Hoping it blown by his
Oh
eardrums rather than
my.
that.
I'm
I don't know.
gonna have to look into it because I miss having like a sound when I'm falling asleep. I do miss it, but every time I've tried since May, it has freaked me out.
Yeah.
So I'll try some other sounds.
Probably try like white noise. Maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds a little like water though.
That's true.
After a
Yeah, I
while.
guess so.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's just traumatized me.
No,
Maybe eventually I'll be
I get it,
untraumatized,
man.
but
I get it,
you know,
man. I
like I've
apologize.
always feared fire in my home. Now that I've experienced a massive flood, I fear water just as much.
Yeah, fair. When I was like little, our apartment burned down, but I wasn't home at the time, so fire doesn't really bother me as much. It's probably much as you'd think it would. But
That's
yeah,
intense. Wow.
yeah, I was like 5, I think. Part
Oh,
burnt down. Yeah. Oh, bring it down. Sad
that's
time.
sad.
Yeah,
Sad,
I
sad,
mean, I
sad.
was old enough to understand what was going on. Like, we're staying with my grandmother now. This is awesome. You know.
Yeah, but you like lost everything, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, but we had a really good community. My dad was a police officer at the time, so we
Mm.
had a really good like community around us. So they kind of pulled together and like gave us a bunch of stuff and donated toys and stuff. So hey,
See, there's a happy part at the
when you're
end.
5 years old, you
Brought it
don't
back up. Brought it back up.
right when you're 5 years old at that point, you don't recognize how terrible it is. You're like, oh, everything's gone. I got new toys and I get to stay at my grandmother's house, who I absolutely love. Oh my, is it my birthday? This is amazing. I know,
Yeah.
like, why is everybody sad? This is
Lucky
awesome.
to be a kid at those times.
Oh yeah, you're just completely ignorant of all the terrible things. Everything is just amazing.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. All right, let's talk about something called Happify or Happify. Puffy?
Happify, it's
Happify.
like
I don't
Spotify,
even
but
know how to say
I'll,
this, but I've used it
I'll,
for literally like 7 years.
I would say Happify.
Happify? Happify.
Happify.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
It's like Spotify.
I've used it for yes, yes, it is. Okay, we're going Happify. All right. Sold. I've used it for probably like 6. Sometimes I'm more active than others. I highly recommend this. It is free. There are like paid parts that you can like on every app, everything's free a little bit, and then there's always paid. But it teaches you how to like you really can pick your own path. So if you want to reduce stress, there is that option. If you want to learn how to handle anxiety, there's that. Being a better parent, creating healthier habits, any kind of path that you would like to venture and improve your mental health around, they have that. And what is on each path is so interesting. They have polls asking you like your answer to a mental health question. They have specific tasks that you can do, like focus on, a good conversation you had with someone today that made you, feel inspired or something, or, this week, and write about that. There's a lot of journaling and writing about things, but there's also a game. It's going to sound silly until I explain it, okay? So there's a game with hot air balloons. They it sounds so funny when I say it in my head. They float up in the air and each one has a word on it. It could be a positive or a negative word. And you have to quickly click on only positives, and they're moving around, they're changing constantly, they're blocking each other, and you get points. It's literally a game where the more positive words you can click, the better. And at first I was like, this is silly. Why? What is this? And then you kind of realize that it's that thing. If you're always looking for, a yellow hat, you're gonna see a yellow hat. So if you're looking for positive words, if you're looking
Oh,
for good habits, for if you're looking and actively seeking the alternative to being negative all the time and looking for those positive affirmations and actions, then you're going to see them more, you're going to do them more. So once you really think about it, like everything on this app has like a purpose, a reason, an action that really makes you not just read 30 minutes a day and you'll feel better, do yoga, take a walk. It like makes you like think, makes you like focus on why you're thinking this way, why you're doing these habits this way, and how to like kind of refocus to happify your life.
Happify.
um, they're very positive, maybe a little bit too positive at times, but you have to take it whatever. Um, there's so much to do. There's so many paths to take. Everything feels very specific to your goal and not just like busy work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it really does make a difference when I really focus on this. And I, again, have used it for many, many years. So I highly recommend it. I recommend it for David, even. I think it would be great.
That
Hmm.
sounds pretty good. I might check that one out. That's pretty cool.
There's a lot to do for free, too, which is, a good little addition.
Bonus. Yeah. So I have one more. We have one more on this list. It's one that I added. It's WAG, 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 as in the doggy wags his tail. And it's actually, I'm sure some people who are listening have heard this before. It's actually an app that lets you find a dog walker in your area.
Hmm.
And I had this, and it's kind of weird. I wasn't sure if I should go under productivity or mental health. Uh, but I use it more of a mental health thing. So I've used it when if I'm not home, like there was one instance where I was literally across the country in Arizona, well, most across the country over in Arizona, and I wasn't able. Obviously, I couldn't. I was only there for like one day, and I couldn't like take the dogs out for a walk and potty time and whatever. So I literally just pulled it up, and I literally installed it. So, well, I had no, because I had to have the key put out for someone, but I got it installed, set it up, and scheduled someone. And when somebody connected, let them know here's the dogs I have. One's a pit bull. Trust me, he's not scary. He's a giant baby. He's strong, so he'll try to yank your arm out of the shoulder because he's not quite figured it out yet. Yeah, and they walked them twice in a day. I've used them when I'm at the office and I get added into a meeting. And I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go home and walk the dogs and let
Right.
them out. If I don't, they're gonna come home to a mess, to clean up. So to give myself peace of mind, I just schedule someone to come walk them, and they come and they have a little passcode to get the key, and they get the key, go in, take them for a walk, and I get notified, when they go potty, and I can look up and see where they are in the neighborhood walking around. So it can be for productivity, but for me, it's much more of a mental health thing and kind of a peace of mind. I haven't attempted, I haven't done it yet, which I no, I don't have a good reason, but there's been a few times I'm like, they're driving me crazy and I'm getting stuff done. And I can't stop and let them out. And like if I let them outside,
Hmm.
they're gonna walk out and come back in. Doesn't really burn any energy. So the option to have somebody just come pick the dogs up, even though I'm home, and burn off the energy and come back
You
was
should do that more often.
I really should. I really should. So it's good for me and it'd be good for them. So if you're a person who is busy and you're not able to take the dog for a walk or get them out and get them moving as often as you'd like, or they're just stressing you out and you kind of need the break, especially if you have a zoo like at my house. Oh my god, it's they're great to it's a great little app to have.
And I think the reason it's so nice is because you're like delegating something off your list.
Right.
It's great for the dogs. And I think you could probably put quite a few apps in that same category as something to take off your to-do list, like even Instacart.
Yeah.
not having to go to the grocery store and having them bring it to me. It's kind of the same thing where it takes something off my list that I don't want to do that somebody else can do. And that, again, you're right. It could be a productivity thing, but it's such a mental health thing where you're just like, take it off my to-do list.
There's another good app I want to add on to this one that wasn't on here. Now that you mentioned that, I just really I don't know why it didn't dawn on me till right now. Lawn Guru.
Oh yeah.
That okay? So of course we're in the South, and it gets quite toasty here. And I have to. I tend to when it's right now the mowing doesn't really do anything right now because everything's dormant. When the grass is growing, I have to like every other week. I have to basically mow every single weekend. I have to mow the front yard one weekend,
Yep.
next weekend mow the backyard. Front yard's not that bad. The backyard is kind of a pain because it's bigger, and it used to be like a lake before they drained it to build all these houses. So it grows really thick, and my lawnmower is not that great for as thick as that grass grows unless I mow it like every other day. So it's one of those decisions I had to make of like is it where does my time and my mental health and everything lie? Is it worth me spending like
Mm-hmm.
an extra 3 hours a day mowing and weed eating and trimming and picking up sticks and
Mm-hmm.
all and edging the ground, all this stuff. And it wasn't. So I was like, it's not worth it. It's
Right,
not worth
right.
me like getting sunburned and stressing out. So I'm like, look, I'd rather pay someone. I'm fortunate, and I'm also privileged enough to
Mm-hmm.
have enough of an income where I can pay someone to mow my lawn. So, and also especially in the now times, people are needing extra income, and so I'm like, okay, I'll pay someone through this app, and basically you go on the app, you sign up, and you use a little tool to like say, here's where my yard is, here's where the sidewalk is, blah blah blah, and then you'd say how the
Mm-hmm.
frequency you want, all this stuff, and they just quote you a price. And I think it's like $40, I think, um, which isn't too bad. Actually, cheaper than I thought it'd be for the size of my yard. I do every other weekend. Guy,
Yeah, that's pretty cheap. Yeah.
yeah, a guy shows up, so it's $80 a month, which again, for some that could be expensive, which I understand. Again, I understand there's a privilege here for me being able to do this. Um, but I think $40 a month, two times a month, every other weekend. Guy literally shows up. I get notification he's here. So when I do that, I just go downstairs, open up the gate, and say like, I can't let the dogs out the time right there during that time. Open the gate up. He mows the front, mows the back, weed eats, edges, makes it like
Mm-hmm.
professional yard work. It's great. He packs up and leaves. I get notified when he leaves. When he does that, I kind of just make sure everything's okay. He closes the gate, everything's done, and I just then tip him, and that's it. I get the same guy every time, so it's not some random person. Once you're matched up, you pretty much stay matched up unless you choose someone different. Like maybe someone's doing a poor
Right.
job or whatever. I feel bad for him. I had to tell him like last time he was here, like, hey man, just so you know, I got to pause the service because there's nothing for you to do. The grass goes dormant. It's kind of pointless. And I don't want you to drive all the way out and waste gas, just for this.
Right, right.
So yeah, and I think that's probably one of the best like mental health apps I use. I used a lot last year. And I was always complaining about having to mow the yard and then clean the house and take the dogs out. Blah, blah, blah. And it just frees me up. I can sit here and
Yes.
do work. I can watch a movie, whatever, while he's taking care of it, and I don't have to worry about it. And he's okay with it. He's getting paid. It's not like he's doing it for free. So I'm,
Right, exactly.
yeah, for sure.
And
So,
I like that it's like contact free. Like you don't have to like,
oh yeah,
talk
completely.
to anyone really.
Yeah, and
That's
honestly,
perfect.
if I had a chain link fence where you could just open it up and walk in, which I'm glad I don't. But if I had a way with him just open it, I wouldn't have to get out. I would literally get notified. So and so is there. I hear the lawnmower, hear the weed eater, and he would go, so and so is done. He's left. I go, cool, tip. I
Right.
only have to interact because I have to open the gate because it only opens
Right.
from the inside. Uh, yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And again, when the grass starts growing again, I'm gonna turn the service back on and let it go again, and not worry about it.
Yeah. I highly recommend any way that you can delegate tasks that drive you nuts, that annoy you, that take up too much time, I'm all for it.
And
And
even
there's all kinds of apps like that too.
even if it costs, again, I understand, especially right now, not everyone has the luxury of additional income. But for me, Meg can attest that I'm like freaky about spending money on stuff.
Very much so.
Like thanks, mom. I know I get it from my mom. My therapist agrees. But and it's one of those like, where does my stress and my time lie, and what's it worth?
Mm-hmm.
And is it?
Absolutely.
And that was the deciding factor. Was like, okay, so I spend 3 hours mowing to get exhausted and tired before I actually start my day. You have to start mowing at 10 o'clock in the morning just to get it done without burning alive.
Jeez.
And so by the time I do that, it's like noon. I guess the whole house, I have to clean my house and the dogs. If it's a Saturday, the dogs got to go out. And like, is it worth? Is $40, $80 a month, $40 every 2 weeks worth it to take that stress and that concern off and not have to like, probably really some cases I can have heat exhaustion. Yeah, it's totally
Right,
worth it.
exactly.
Totally worth it.
Absolutely.
Totally worth it. So
Love it.
yeah,
Great app.
yeah. They do other things like
Um,
they have other yard services. I just do the mowing service though.
okay. That's even better then.
Yeah.
Oh, and we'll have links to everything in the show notes so you guys can like check out all these apps too. So you're not like
Oh
trying to,
wow.
remember what the app was called. I hate when that
Taking
happens.
notes in your car like ah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about productivity apps now. These are we have some good ones on this app, or on this list, and some of them are just like, common things that, seem so natural to us, but they make life a lot easier. I have some weird ones on my little list here. So, okay. One of my favorite productivity apps, I think this will speak to vegans. Okay, it's called Forest, and it helps you stay off your phone. I have a problem being on my phone, and it's mainly because I work in marketing and social media is part of my job. So I'm constantly checking, we have like 80,000 followers on Instagram and like 100,000 on Facebook. So I'm like constantly checking comments. So like I'm always on my stupid phone. So anytime I can get myself off of it, this will help me with my productivity. So with Forest, I love this so much.
Yeah.
You plant a tree, okay? And you dedicate however much time you want to it. Some of them are like a required amount of time, but like say you want to stay off your phone for 30 minutes, you can plant a tree. You set the 30-minute timer. It grows the tree for those 30 minutes. If you use your phone in those 30 minutes, it says, "Do you want to kill your tree?" No, I can kill my tree. Do you know how much that upsets me at the thought of killing the tree? Because listen to me, that dead tree stays on your little plot of land. Every tree you grow, every time you take a break from your phone and grow a tree, it stays on your land. So if you have a dead tree because you couldn't stay off your phone, that little reminder of your little addiction is right there. It's so sad. This like dead wilted tree. I don't know why it really makes me focus on staying off my phone because I can't fathom the thought of killing my little tree. I know that sounds stupid.
That just gives me
I mean, you
anxiety.
should get it. You're an Animal Crossing lover. Same thing. You would want to kill like one of your. I love it.
With the
They've also got like weird pink plants you can grow too if you want that instead of a tree,
that's cool.
I guess.
I don't
It's
know.
just like a playful way to keep you off your phone. I guess. It's just, it's cute. It's not like, here's a timer, stay off your phone. It's like you can watch the little tree grow. It's cute. It's cute.
Yeah,
To me,
I
it's like, this is so dumb.
no, I totally get why someone like it. Just like the idea of it gives me anxiety though. I don't know why. It's just like thinking about it, like, oh my god, I killed a tree, and then I'll see that tree all the time, and I'll be like, fuck this app. I just uninstall it because I couldn't
That's
take
why
it.
you don't kill the tree.
Yeah,
You just
no,
stay off your phone.
no, I'm not doing that. To be fair, I don't use my phone that much during the.
David can't do it.
Well, I actually don't use I don't use my phone during the day much at all. I only use my phone when when I walk away from my desk, because most of the stuff
Right.
that I would use is like in a browser. So like all my email, YouTube, Netflix, all even some of the apps here have web versions. So I'm sure I
Right.
wonder if they can hear
Yeah.
the dog barking in the background. Stupid pit bull being crazy.
I love it. Listen, everybody loves dogs.
Oh, I know, but he's bananas. He's
Fine,
just
then don't do forest. I think it's fun. All right, you do one.
all right. I'll do one. All right, so it's kind of similar to the next one you're gonna do, but I'll do it first because you said I could. So I actually use the Microsoft To Do app. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, I didn't know about it because I have a Windows machine, and I've been keeping lists in like a Google Doc and stuff like that. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, it works, but for lists, they're
right.
kind of a pain because you can't check them off and stuff, and have subtasks. It's kind of weird. And I was literally like, I want to find a to do app for my browser for my actual like operating system. And as I was searching for it, there was like to do installed. I'm like, the hell is this? And I opened it. I was like, oh, it's exactly what I want. So I installed the app on my phone. I'm sure they have for iOS. I have an Android device. Um, but I have it installed on here. So whenever I make a change on my phone, I go to the to do app in my browser. They match. So they're always
Oh,
correlated.
nice.
And I use it. If there's times I'm like, okay, Saturday's a crazy day. I got a bunch of stuff to do because maybe I'm doing like an extra cleaning day because I want to go like do the garage and do a bunch of extra like plant flowers on Saturday, but Sunday whatever, do something else. I'll go on and make a list and I can check them off either on my browser if I'm at home or I'm on my phone. I can check them off and then delete the list. It's simple. It's not. There's no extra crazy stuff. There's no like scan that, take a picture of this, and that combines the two to do that thing. Because like some apps I've used Evernote, which is a great app. It's a fantastic app. I've used it before, but it's like highly robust. I'm like, I don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
I need a to do list app. Is all I need. And it was great. It's exactly what I need. I need to make a list, and I'm like like I actually I have a therapy list. And if I'm sitting at the gym or in my car or I'm at my
Oh,
desk, I literally just like go, I want to talk about this on my next session. Boop, add it to the list. And if I'm talking to my therapist and there's stuff on it, I'll just tell her like, oh, I have my to-do list, and she's like, what is it? And I'll read my list, and then we just kind of run through it, depending on time.
I love that.
Yeah, and when I'm done with them, I delete them. I have it open right now. And what do I have? I have my therapy list and my news resolutions list. So
Ooh.
I have those going. So yeah.
All
Actually,
right.
I could check.
I
Actually,
didn't know that existed either, and we have a Windows machine here at
yeah,
home, so I
it's
might get that on
super
the desktop
basic.
too.
As a matter of fact, listen, I don't know if it records this or not, but there you go.
Ooh.
I checked something off because I talked about therapy last time, so there you go. I checked off the list. Also the
Love
ding. I
that.
love the ding noise. The ding is it's a straight up dopamine hit. Like, oh yeah, ding. There we go.
Oh my God. Oh God. I love that. That's so you. God, that's so you.
There it is.
There's a similar one, and I don't use it as frequently as I should, but it's called Todoist, I'm assuming. And it's a, to-do list kind of app. There are coding that you can do. You can do projects like make a specific project and then have tasks underneath that. You can assign things, projects to people or tasks to people. You can create like boards, all kinds of stuff. So it's a little more robust than what you were saying. And I think I like it because I like the color coding. I like the organization of things, I guess. And it's very popular. They definitely figured out what people want. You can set like priorities. It's really very, very handy. There's a lot of customization you can do to make it kind of fit what you're looking for. So Todoist, another great
Todoist.
to-do list app. Sounds like I'm repeating myself.
Aren't we all in somewhere? Uh,
Yeah, sometimes.
yeah. So for my next one is it's a fairly common one, but Google Docs.
Yes.
I it's there's a lot of I guess if you have access to MS like Microsoft Office, if you have access to that on a personal level. I have access to it for work, I think, but I don't really use it much for work. But Google Docs I use I make spreadsheets for my gym routines, shopping lists,
Mm-hmm.
random like poetry or songs or something. I just cop my head out, I write out. There's all
Episode
kind
ideas.
episode ideas, even for work, because and for work we actually use a thing called Jira to track all of our like tasks and stuff for our sprints.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little export to Google Docs button. When I click that, it basically shoots over to Google Docs and fills out a spreadsheet with all of my tasks, and I reorganize them in there. Uh,
Oh, that's
yeah, it's
genius.
fantastic. Oh yeah, so nice. And it
I
makes
really like that.
yeah, it's really cool. I'm like, what's this little button? Oh, I love to see more. Uh, but I use Google Docs literally every day. When I go to the gym, I open up on my phone and there's a little like says like workout routine spreadsheet. Have that and
Mm-hmm.
has tabs for my what I'm doing that day and list it out. But I use Google Docs like crazy to the point where I've actually had to like go delete stuff because I ran out of room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do the same thing.
Or out.
Just to like quickly write things down that come into your mind, or maybe you're just feeling inspired and you're not near a computer. So Google Docs in your phone is very, very, very handy.
I even created I have an invoice template I use for doing client work. So I just have a template that
Mm-hmm.
I duplicate and I can fill that out. So yeah, it's available across all devices, all browsers. It's free to a certain storage point. So I recommend if
Right.
somebody needs like a some sort of like document program, for lack of a better phrase, that has like spreadsheets and PowerPoint like capabilities and documents. That's Google Docs is what I always recommend.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And almost everybody has a Gmail account, so
Yeah.
you're going to have access to Google Docs.
Yep.
Um, okay, another recommendation is by a listener of the podcast and a friend of mine. It's called Asana. Now, I back in the day used this as like a desktop version, but it has an app. And it's really great for organizing like projects. It's great for teams, obviously, but it can also be used for single people. So, like the person who recommended this, she uses it for herself mainly, but not, really for teams. But it is meant to organize projects so that a lot of different people can work on it at the same time. Communication is clear, documents are all saved in one place, and you can keep on the timeline. You can, probably keep in budget, if you try. Um, so it's super, super handy. I loved the desktop version, so I'm assuming this app is really great. I mean, I haven't used it in a long time, but I trust the person who recommended it, so that's why I'm mentioning it today. And also because we're not mentioning something that's, team related, because it's something that, say you have a podcast, you do Asana and have, work together with your co-host on there. It could be used for a lot of different things. It could even be like for family planning as well. So Asana is a great app to
Yeah.
recommend for productivity.
I used it early, like in its early days, for I think it was like a team I was putting together for like an idea. We all kind of had an idea for like a web app or something years and years ago, and we were using that to track all of our documentation, all of any contracts we had to put together,
Mm-hmm.
uh, design files and like code examples and stuff to share things among everybody. It was actually really cool. You can
It's
assigning tasks and stuff like that. Yep.
it's like a project management app, I guess, more
Yeah,
than
it's really powerful.
anything.
It's great. Yeah, they have a
Mm-hmm.
paid version, but even the free version is really really good.
Mm-hmm. It's very nice.
But if you need something that is actually handles more like direct one-on or direct connection as opposed to just signing tasks, and we actually use this for the show. We actually have a group. This is Slack. I don't know why I'm like trying to hide what it is. So the app is Slack. There's also and wow. But I have a Slack for work. I have one where like a group of developers. We have one. I have a Slack team that I use for it's called Tech 404, which is a bunch of not technology people in the Atlanta area to like share just general chatting or jobs or gigs and like that. And we have one for all of our friends
Yes, we
I'll
do.
chat and share pictures, and I know everyone with my emojis and gifs.
No, you don't.
You and your emojis, like what? And it's great for yeah, chatting and like especially DMing each other because we use Facebook chats for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then that got crazy because then like you have like Meg, you're talking to Melissa, and then maybe you, Melissa, and Rosie are talking about a true crime thing, and then we're all in one chat, and it's like, and that's what I would have going on. I'm like, okay, this is getting bananas, and it's like ding 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 ding. Okay, I can't. This is no. Let's go to Slack, guys. And so now we have like channels for different topics, and it makes it easier to track each other and keep up with each
Yeah,
other.
the channels are super helpful. So like we
Oh
have a
yeah,
true crime channel. So if you have anything, true crime related, we share it there. And then you can make channels private. So we have our podcast channel that's just between David and I, and we talk about it on there.
yeah.
So nobody else can see it but us. So
Right, and there's no point in
um,
then bothering everyone with stuff they don't really, like why do you got why would everyone care to hang out and watch us talk about stupid podcast stuff? So
they should want to.
it's right, but no, we're not letting you in. Now you guys know our secret, and we're admins, so you can't control it.
Slack is super helpful, and especially because you can make different Slacks for different, groups of people, like you were just saying, and that's super cool. Like you could have a family one. I have a work one. I have the one with you guys as our little friend group. So I think it's a powerful app. It's only started being a part of my life because of work, but it's definitely more active with my friend group. So we recommend Slack hardcore.
For sure, for sure,
Slack should sponsor us.
for
Something.
sure, for sure.
Okay, we're going to talk about physical health apps. Um, I only have one contribution to this group.
And I actually would have said that too if you hadn't.
I
So
know, right? So I'm going to let David talk a tiny bit. I can add a little. I've used two of them, so I can add a little tidbits, but
all right,
you go.
all right. I'll let you do your first one though.
Okay,
Because you
okay.
added that one. I'll give you that one. Then I'll just
All
and
right,
I'll harass you with the other four.
fine. Okay, so for physical health, in our last episode, we talked about how both of us just got um, uh, cardio machines at
There
our
you
house.
go.
So my brain just went, "What are they called?"
I was like, she'll figure
Uh,
it out. She'll get there.
well, I'll get it. I'll get it. So I got a stationary bike, and David got a rower. And at the moment, I am using free workouts on YouTube for my biking. There are like workouts with instructors, just like there's, free workouts of any kind on YouTube, but you can do like a total bike workout, like a spin class with an instructor that you follow along with for free on the U to the tube. It's the best. But lately, what I've been doing is like a scenic route, and like someone rides a bike. Literally, the one I just watched was a real for real, like two dudes who must have put like a GoPro on their bike and just rode like around California. And I can't go there right now, but I can watch it while I ride the bike. And what's kind of cool is you can see when they like slow down to like merge into this lane or like speed up to go up the hill. It's really entertaining because I don't have to focus on not falling off the bike as I ride on these nature paths, like they're controlling it. I can look at all the pretty scenery. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I was really there, I'd have to really focus. But because I'm on a stationary bike watching it, I can like look at all the pretty stuff. I love it. I love it. It's like traveling, but in the safety of my own home.
Right. Yeah.
So I recommend YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. I use it for rowing. Rowing is weird because the scenic stuff is pretty, but you have to go like strokes per minute, and then there's intensities, so you kind of lose the scenic. I think I need like a bigger TV to do the scenic stuff. I have like a small spare one that kind of just I've had for years. I just plopped in there. So I've primarily been using the guided workouts for it. Dark Horse Rowing, and we're not sponsored by anybody, and whatever. But I've been mainly watching Dark Horse Rowing. He has a lot of like really good videos, and he kind of talks to us. Okay, here we go. we're going up a little bit, just a little more pressure, keep your mechanics right. And he kind of talks you through it and kind of pumps you up, which is nice. So I've been watching, like, that's what I did today, actually. I did a dark horse rowing where it was a 20-minute workout where you did like 30-second on, 30-second off. So you 30 seconds, like really hard, high stroke rate. And then after 30 seconds, you go down to like a cool down. You go back over, do like 20 rounds of that. So I did that today. So that's what I've been using for what I use it for, watching stupid crap all the time, but mainly for that.
You can use it for good things
For
too.
good things, you can. Yeah, actually, I've also used it for yoga, honestly.
Yes, me too.
And
Yoga with Adrian.
yeah, I can't remember. I just do like, I would look for like a certain type of yoga. Like I want to do, like stretching, like certain type of stretching, or slow or fast, or stability. I would look at certain types of yoga I want to focus on. Then I would do it for that. But I use it for yoga as well.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's a simple app to recommend, YouTube. Everybody has that on their phone. But you, again, spend a lot of time watching dumb stuff on YouTube, but you can also use it for free workouts. You don't have to pay for some expensive app. You can just use YouTube. So
Yep.
that's my recommendation.
Yeah, and pretty much all these apps, I think other than a couple, are free. They have probably paid versions, but there's free versions for most of these. Most all we're talking about. So I have
Right.
the next four are mine. Unless you want to try talking about ones you never used before. uh, so the first one is All Trails. Have you used this? All Trails?
I have used this. Yes.
Okay,
That's one of the ones on your list I have used.
cool.
Yes.
So
For hiking. Yeah.
yeah, for hiking, I've started trail running. I'm not trail running right now because it's too freaking cold to go out and trail run right now. At least for me. But I like, it's great because you can find trails and at different difficulties for either hiking or running or biking or really whatever you want to do on the outside. I love the fact that it when you actually can say like tell it you're on that trail and it'll track you. So
Yep.
it'll show you like where you are and then it'll show your elevation. It can I used it. I don't really only use it on new trails. I haven't been on for a few times till I get used to it. It lets me know like, okay, where am I? If I need to go back to where I started from, where is
Right.
that? How far away am I? Am I halfway there? Blah blah blah. So it helps, and once I have a hang, once I gotta have a hang of like where I am on certain parts of the trail, then I don't use it as much. But it's great for finding trails, especially if it's difficulty. Like if you're like, I want to go like 5 miles and I want to do an easy like flat terrain, you can search for that and it'll find ones and find trails in the area. There's a paid version of it that lets you like download maps and have like other overlays, like terrain overlays and stuff like that. But the basic one is fine if you're just using it for just basic hiking or running. You're not doing anything too crazy.
And it's almost like Happy Cow for trails.
Yeah.
Like you could put in, this is where I am, where there's some cool trails around me, and then you can kind of pick which ones like fit what you're looking for. It's very, very helpful, full of information on each trail too. So
Yeah.
you'll learn as you walk.
Yeah, it can also add a little bit, to me, that's odds a bit of safety because you know where you are, how far you are, and where things are located. So if you're uneasy about where you are walking through the woods, it can add a level of safety. So you know if like, okay,
Yes.
I need to get out of here. I'm not cool. It's getting too dark. You know where you are. There's been a few times in the past where I was like on a trail. This is years and years ago, and it's like it's getting dark. I don't know where I am. This is going to be very bad.
Oh God.
And I just had to find a hole and like walk around till I found my way back to my car because like it's now nighttime and I don't want to be in the woods because we have bears. Uh,
Oh
I don't be
God.
a snack.
I love you're a man, so you think of bears. I'm a woman, and I think of men
No, yeah, I totally,
trying to come to get me.
yeah, no, and I totally get that. Trust me.
Oh gosh.
Another one I use this literally every single week. I probably used this for the past probably year and a half, 2 years, probably 2 years. Every single Sunday, I use Chronometer. I use the free version. There's a paid version, but the free version doesn't offer anything that I would use. Otherwise, I would get it for how much I use it. But essentially, you can put in like what you put it first. You sign up for it, which is a free account, And then you put in like your weight and your goals, and you want to put on muscle, you want to lose body fat, blah blah blah, and then it tells you like the calories you should consume, like and to reach those goals. And I've checked it's fairly accurate based on I've kind of double checked their numbers through other sites. It's pretty accurate.
Right.
But what I mainly use it for is one to make sure I'm not like overeating, because it's easy for me to do. But like, yay, more tofu. Believe it or not. But it's usually I just keep me from like eating too much, but also more than anything, for my micro, make sure I'm getting my macros. And as a vegan, you don't really have to do this. I think I always recommend when someone's starting out on a vegan diet for them to use something like this. I think there are other apps that does it, but Chronometer is like kind of like what everyone uses.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like used by everyone in the
Yeah,
vegan community. It's very popular.
yeah. And if you're just starting out, you're not sure how to eat. Like I'm not sure how to like where do we get protein from? What about this, that, and the other thing? Using this will show you where you're limited in, and especially if you're transitioning and you're kind of like cutting out, animal-based products, and you're shifting over to soy milk, or you're shifting over to take tofu and tempeh off like animal products, like chicken and stuff like that, fish, things like that. It can help you track like all of your omegas, your zincs, your vitamin B, vitamin A, vitamin E, stuff like that. So I literally build my meals for the week in that, and to see where I am. And I go, I could use more protein, or like, oh man, I'm really low on. Never low on vitamin A. I'm gonna die of vitamin A overdose. I swear to God, some carrots and sweet potatoes and
Yes,
crap I
I
eat.
think that every time.
Oh my God, like you're 20 billion%. You should be like, is that okay? I'm like, no. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Because vitamin A is fat soluble, man. It stays in you and it'll hurt you.
Oh
But you really have to go
God.
overboard with vitamin A to really do some damage. But it's really because like vitamin E is what my hardest one. So I just
Hmm.
throw in some kiwi. It's kiwi and like I think mango, like kiwi, mango, and I think canned tomatoes are the easiest
Oh,
ones.
that's weird.
I think it's canned tomatoes. I don't know why. I'm sure there's an obvious reason, but I just never looked into why. I think those are the three big ones for vitamin E. So that's probably the one I always have to like try to get. But and also it's fun to me. It's almost a game of like, can I hit all my numbers? And if I'm like, oh man, I need I need a little bit more selenium. Oh, what am I gonna do? And like, oh, that's right. I
Take
can
it to
make,
work.
I can just make bread because bread has selenium in it. I'm eating bread this week. It seriously does. If you low on selenium, bread has selenium in bread. Also, you can also just eat a Brazil nut. But who just has Brazil
David's
nuts?
like bread.
Yeah, like I got some bread. All right. The fat child of me is like, we could have bread. I'm like, yeah, we can have some bread. It's
We
good.
have an excuse.
What? But I don't consider bread a bad food. I don't like.
Me
I don't
neither.
think food is good or bad. It's just healthy or unhealthy. I don't think bread's unhealthy food. It can be, but as long as it's a whole wheat, it's fine. But anyway, Chronometer. It's great for again just watching your overall calorie intake. Also, make sure you're hitting your micros and your macros. Macro being carbohydrate, fat, proteins. Micros meaning vitamins and minerals. And it's also again, it's good to make sure you are. If you've been vegan for a while, it's good just to check in to make sure you're still doing the right thing. Honestly, even if you're not vegan, like maybe I don't know why you listen to this. Maybe you're thinking about it. Put it in. See where you are. I think if you're, I would love to have like some meat eater friends of mine who just like eat casually. I would love to like have them put in their meals for the week just to see
Mm-hmm.
where they are and be like,
And compare. Yeah.
you see that vitamin A? You need to use more carrots. But Chronometer, I recommend to everybody who's just trying to get healthier or just kind of see where they are. Everybody, I recommend it to. The next one is it's okay. So this one's weird. I gotta explain this one. So this one's called MMA Circuit Timer Pro. So I've been using
Not my favorite title. I'm just saying, like,
right.
not my favorite name.
it's a pretty crap name, but I've been using this. Oh my God, 4 years I think now.
Whoa.
I've used it for a long time to the point where, to be honest, it's not supported by Android anymore, and I get notified like Android's like, we can't guarantee this will work. Like it still does. But I have this on here because even though it's not supported by Android, it's just an old app. It's not maintained anymore. I recommend any type of, if you're a person who goes to the gym regularly or does anything with there's like circuit training, HIIT training, if you do any type of like combat sports stuff like bag work, um, find a simple app and don't go overboard. No, no, don't put pretty pictures. I would recommend the simplest app you
Right.
can that lets you put in stations, rounds, time between stations, time per round. Um, and this is just that. It's literally you say, okay, there's if I'm doing back work, there's one station. But let's say I'm doing bag work and I'm doing like push-ups, right? I'm doing some push-ups in the middle of between,
Right.
right? I may say there's two stations, 2 minutes per station, and this, between each round, I'm
Right.
doing, this. So, and it basically it goes, bell rings, and it'll say like station one, boop, and you do it for it, and it goes, rest, and you get like, how to rest you said, and then
Oh,
it goes begin, and that's your station two if you do that, right? So like for me, I'm gonna use it for bag work. So I'll have like 5 rounds, 3 minutes each, um, 3 minutes each round, 30 second between each round, I have put on 30 second like startup, so it gives me 30 seconds to get ready, and then it just goes like ding ding ding, like a literally got like a fight bell, and I do my round, and it goes brrr, and it gives a little notification's done, and I stop, and it goes rest, and it counts. I watch the clock hit 30, ding ding.
that is so helpful.
Yeah, and it changes color. So like when you're in the middle of
Ooh,
something, it's green, and when you're like the last like 30 seconds, it turns yellow, and then your rest is red because your time off.
right.
Again, and anyone if you do if it's just kind of rare, you sometimes do stuff like this. It's great. Maybe not in the gym. Maybe you need like you have to you need to do something intermittent,
Yeah,
right?
I was thinking of like using my bike and doing like a hit workout with my dumbbells or my bands, and I could do that.
Something like this is perfect for that. I'm sure you have an iOS. I'm
Right.
sure there's
Ooh,
iOS
I
for it.
get.
And I would seriously, anyone looking to get this, don't get a flashy app. It's really easy to go, "Oh, I want one that has like examples of the workouts." Don't do that, right? I mean, you can obviously, but like I was to do the simplest one. Like for example, you'll say you're going to do your bike, and then you're going to do curls, and then like presses with it, right?
Right, right,
I would say like, cool, you can do that 5 times, like that set of three 5 times. Let's just say making it up, right? So it's five
right, right,
rounds, 3 stations, 30 seconds each station. You're going to go pedal real hard. You can do 30 seconds of curls, 30 seconds of presses, and you're going to get 30-second rest, and then you do it again.
right.
And it's just
Oh, I
boom, boom,
love
boom, boom,
this.
right? So it's simple, it's great. And there's a voice that goes begin, rest. Simple. I love it. I will never uninstall this app because I'm afraid I won't ever get it again. It's one of my favorite, like other than a chronometer. It's probably the second most used app on my phone for health stuff.
Yeah, I find that very intriguing. I'm excited. Cute, 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 cute.
Yeah, check it out. You'll dig it. The final one on the list is actually comes with my rower. And it's a newer app that I use, but it's called My Cloud Fitness. And it has some stuff you don't need to have a machine for, but that primarily uses connecting to different type of machines and heart rate monitors and stuff. Um, I don't use the classes for it because I started to and I didn't really like them too much. I mean, they're okay if you don't have like a YouTube option.
Right.
But I use it because I can connect it to my rower, and then it has more tracking than the actual like little computer on the rower itself does. So it has like splits, split averages, strokes per minute, distance, all this stuff, and then I can save it, and it just tracks it in a little line graph for me. I can see like if I'm doing better or worse or whatever. It's very
Oh,
specific
you know we
to.
love a good graph.
Oh yeah, man. And, and it's super specific to like I'm not, yeah, I mean I don't know if like your cardio machine has an app that comes along with it you can connect to. Um, you'd be surprised, which actually I found is interesting.
I
There's some app
don't honestly know if it does.
there actually might be apps because this actually was like it's like made for like it's a collaboration between the manufacturer and the people who make the app. Because actually I bought my rower from them because they had a better price than Amazon. Um, and 'cause, I find them prices.
Hmm.
Uh, but I bet if you like look for apps for your specific bike, I bet there's some that connect to your bike or you can connect to certain things. You'd be surprised, or at least maybe certain device. I don't know. Depends on how your bike works. Mine actually has a Bluetooth connection with a computer, so rambling, like I always do. But anyway, that's what I've been using. So
And definitely look because that would be helpful.
yeah.
Okay. Our next category is just for fun. Okay, so you got to have some fun on your phone once in a while. So we just picked some of our favorite apps, and we got some recommendations. So I'm going to do the recommendation first. So I've had now, I think, 3 people recommend the Happy Color app, where you can digitally color. Sounds kind of silly if you're not into coloring, but I've loved adult coloring books for years now. I have a pile of them in my room and all kinds of coloring utensils. But I think it'd be super helpful if you're in like a situation where you don't want to go get all those supplies and you just want to use your phone to like quickly just play with some colors and make a pretty picture and just take your mind off of everything else, off of the work, the mental health, the physical health, all that stuff, and just focus on something pretty. The Happy Color app, I'm definitely going to put it on my phone because I've seen so many people recommend it. So there you go. That's my little fun app.
Little fun app.
Do you have a kitty in your lap right now?
I do. She's no, I don't. She's weird. She's older. So like most of my younger cats, I'm like, stop it, go away. They'll like kind of get like me and just walk off, kind of all
Right.
defiant. But she's older, and I've had her for oh my like 10 years. So she's like,
Oh.
I don't listen to you. You don't control me. So I started like I don't like trying to have the animals around me when we're recording, but because they might hit the microphone or whatever. But if I usually sometimes she'll go away, but if she's
Right, right.
persistent, she'll jump up in my lap. Problem is she's old, not super good at jumping. And when cats aren't good at jumping, they use their claws to hold on.
Oh no.
And I'm wearing shorts.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm like,
Oh no. No.
I was like, instead of going, oh my God, and screaming, yelling on the microphone, having to figure out how to edit that out in the middle of me talking, which would not work. I was like, I'm going to put you on my lap until you decide to get down because I do not feel like being in pain. I don't feel like bleeding. And I don't feel like ruining this recording. Uh, I'm leaving this in.
And I get to look at a pretty kitty for the split second she was in your lap.
Yeah. She's actually been sleeping there the whole this like for
Okay,
like 2 hours.
so we need to ask her what her opinion is.
Right.
Okay, so my other fun, just for fun app, this is going to be like a duh. This is going to be a giant duh for you guys because everybody has this. Not everybody, but a lot of people. Is TikTok. Yep,
Yep.
I did it. I got the app. The only reason
Did
I
it.
got this
Yeah.
dumb, stupid app, and it was only like a month ago, was because I started a little small business where I make resin pieces, and I had to make a TikTok because that is kind of where the resin community lives, is on TikTok making videos. So, this app is just as addicting as people say because you can curate just like any other app. You can curate what you're watching, right? So I watch people in their small businesses make their pretty projects and their beautiful items, and I follow people that like to roller skate. Yeah, because it's soothing, and I like pretty people on roller skates. Whatever, it's my thing. Okay, shut up. I watch people that do paintings. I like artists making all kinds of pretty stuff. There's all kinds of categories. I know David likes to watch people clean,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a weirdo.
which is just weird.
Yeah. So to explain that, so I don't
I
know.
love it.
Well, I don't know where. There's two things I watch because okay, I started this on YouTube. I'm like trying to defend my entertainment. Don't have to, but I don't care. So on YouTube, for some reason I started watching these compilations of cleaning and organizing TikTok compilations. Yes, on YouTube I watch these, but whatever. And then I was also watching like Amazon must-haves, and which is both of the things are bad.
Yes.
Both of these maybe go like, oh, that's a good idea. I need one of those. Um, so it's and so now I either go just to the homepage of TikTok and just scroll through looking for like okay, if we're talking about like what I actually watch on TikTok, right? Because I don't have an account. I don't have an account. I just like watch the front page.
Right,
more than
right,
anything else.
right.
I typically watch 3 different things. Usually it's either like cleaning stuff and organizing. I don't know why that's soothing to me. Just somebody like, here's how I organize my. I don't wear makeup. Here's how I organize makeup. Like, oh my god, that's so cool. Like, all of your lipstick fit perfect. That's amazing. I don't know why I
Yeah,
like
see, I
that.
like the organizing because it's satisfying watching them like put things in a proper spot.
Yeah,
I'm not so much into like watching dirty things get
it's
cleaned,
just
but
like
I like the organizing part.
I watch like videos, like multiple videos of someone people cleaning their grout and like different ways of cleaning their grout. I'm like, I need to totally clean my grout in my kitchen.
You're so ridiculous.
I totally need to clean my grout. And I actually bought, I bought like a little scrubber thing. I thought saw it on TikTok. Somebody was like
Yep.
cleaning around like their like the sink, the faucets and stuff. I was like, the hell is that? And then I saw it used a couple more times, and somebody mentioned what it was in some video. I was like, oh, we're going to Amazon to find that thing, and I found
And
it.
it's already come in handy.
Oh yeah, oh no, yeah, because I found it. Then I was at Target the other day, and I was like, I wonder if they have one here. And they do. It was like $1 more. I'm like, I'm already here. I'm already buying.
Right.
Like, I think like my mop broke and stuff, so I had to go buy a new one. I was like, why not? And I've already used. I use this stupid thing to clean out like, because we have one of those sinks that's like it's inside the counter, right? So it has like this like instead of like being on top of the counter like some sinks are, ours is like the countertop is like sandwiched on top of it. So there's like
Right.
there's like a rim, and I go all around that and around the drain, and then I was vacuuming the house, and I was like, it's not doing it. This it's not sucking into the stuff. What's going on? And like I was like, oh, that's gross. It was just all gunked underneath. So I use it to scrub out my vacuum cleaner and clean it all out. It's so nice. And it's like brand new. Love it.
Oh, so
Yeah.
satisfying.
So
Should have made a TikTok about it.
I thought about that. Like I should totally. I could actually do. I clean my house every Sunday, and even the basic stuff. I can do TikToks just on cleaning my house sometimes. But I do cleaning. There's this one channel I comes up randomly of people like basically testing out like TikTok hacks. Like
Oh, yes.
and it's legit. They go like, oh, this didn't work. Like, watch us.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, and like, oh, this actually worked. That's pretty cool. And then I love watching those. I love when people prove things do or don't work. Especially they're really cool, like little fun little hacks.
Especially because then you don't have to prove it. And you're like, okay, well, I
Yeah.
already know this works. You showed me and I can do it. Thank
It's
you.
also fun to guess. Like, nah, that's bullshit. No, doesn't work because
Yeah.
you can't connect an orange and a banana with a quarter and make it charge your phone. It makes no sense.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then I didn't make that up. That's when they tested because I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you can what? Anyway. And then wholesome stuff. Like
Oh.
like
Oh, okay.
puppies
I was like, what?
and like two little kids, and one kid's crying, it's like, are you okay? Do you want a hug? And it's like, oh, it's little kid's hug. No, it's cute. Yeah, it's wholesome stuff. I don't know why. And I
I
actually
feel like TikTok is a mental health app for you.
it kind of is, honestly, because it makes me not work and do other crap I shouldn't be doing at
Right.
midnight. And there's two dog songs I now sing to my dog.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm not gonna do it here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but I'll send you one of them. I'll send you, and now you're gonna sing it to Lucy. I promise. I'll send you one of them.
Oh my God.
I'm seriously gonna send it to you. You'll be like, you'll play it over and over again because it's super catchy, and you'll start singing it to Lucy. I promise. So anyway, those are the ones I watch. I need to create an account so I can actually curate what I watch. But I've been watching main thing, front page, whatever. All right. I think the last two are mine. Yeah. Yeah. So
They are, yes.
yeah. So the first one is the front page of the internet, which most people would know as Reddit. That's actually their slogan, the front page of the internet. And Reddit's one of those, like, it's late and I have a cup of coffee. Caffeine doesn't bother me. I've said a million times on here. So I just have a cup of coffee or maybe a kombucha, just chilling out, trying to not do anything. Because, again, I'm type A, so I'm always doing stuff. I'm trying to, like, veg out, not like, go 90 miles an hour. Scrolling through. And just, usually, again, it's watching, like, funny videos or, like, news stories and, like, things like that more than anything else. But, just kind of getting information. Sometimes there's, like, a funny question or a riddle that's fun to, whatever. But, Reddit.
I don't go on Reddit often, but if I did, and I should for this one sole reason, their true crime community is killer. Like, they have solved decades old crimes because of the web sleuthing they do through Reddit. So I mean, I should get on there and just, cold case it up.
Well, no, the thing about Reddit, there's a community. It's a community for everything. It's like porn. There's a porn for everything, and there's a
Yep.
there's a subreddit for everything.
Yep.
I had a question about. Like, I'm thinking about getting blue light glasses, right? And
Hmm.
there's literally one just a subreddit of sleep, and I asked a question on there, like, do these work? And I got a bunch of like just data. People just dumped a bunch of data and stuff on me. It's like holy crap. When I was thinking about going to Disney, there you go. There's a vegan
Right.
Disney subreddit. There's if there's a YouTube channel you like, there's a subreddit for them.
Yeah, it's like a way to crowdsource information, Like you can just get a ton of people's opinions about something very quickly from Reddit. So I think that's a great way or great reason to recommend it.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's vegan subreddit, so yeah, there's recipes and stuff like that. So I recommend it. Um, and one is weird. It's a game. I wasn't like putting any games on here, but there's one game I'm putting on here, and it's a really really weird one,
Of course it is, David.
and it's called Just Mowing.
Like the grass?
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
that's literally what it is. You're a little mower guy, and you can't lose. You can't. You just mow yards, and then
And it's just the satisfying thing of like making the lines and
that's
like,
it. You
oh,
can make
okay.
patterns if you want, and you once you mow all the grass, there's things you have to like go up and then you swipe and you swipe, boop boop. Once you
Right,
get all the
right.
spots, it goes and like like whatever, and things kind of like shoot off, and then you go back and you just go to the next yard, and you gain points, and when you get points, you can like change your mower to like a different color and get a new hat and
Ooh.
stuff. But yeah, it's super simple, and it's just there's no there's no like matching colors and gaining points to
Right.
like leaderboards. It's literally it's and I think like when you start the game up, it says the title. It's really well done, super pretty game, and it's called literally just mowing is like what it's called, and that's it. It's ridiculous, and
There's
it's
like no competition. There's just the
nothing.
satisfying nature of making lines in the grass. That
I
is kind of
I
interesting. I wonder if my husband would like that.
I saw it on. I can't remember what I saw it on. I think I saw it on like as an ad or something on Instagram or something. And I was like, that's stupid. I'm looking at this dumb game. I'm like, that is beautiful. And I'm
I
serious.
love,
It's
I love how you were like, I'm just gonna go look at it to be like, oh, it's dumb, and now you're like, oh, I kind of love it.
look. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I just like you just swipe and you just kind of moves and mows the next
Right.
line. Yeah, it's literally just mowing and you just kind of swipe down. Oh, there's a hidden little gem. Oh, it's a butterfly. That's cool. And I can tap it and oh, yep. Yeah, and you can like catch pigeons, like not pigeons, but like, yeah, as you go through the game, you get like ability to like you'll mow and you hit a spot and a butterfly will come out and you tap it and you get its little gem and you use the gem to trade in for like upgrades, but the upgrades are like, you know, a different size mower or it doesn't do anything. It's just stupid. It's a really dumb game,
Right.
and a sense of like there's not like things to win. There's no leaderboards. You're just you know
Just
mowing
playing.
just mowing grass, man.
It's
That's it.
kind of like, the other fun app we recommended, Happy Color. There's no like competition to it. You're just doing
Yeah,
it. You're just
it's
coloring, just
it's like
mowing.
it's like doing a crossword puzzle.
Yeah.
You're just
Hmm.
sitting there and or even like not even that a word find because crossword puzzles make you like go like okay,
I have to
one down,
think.
two over, the second name of the actor who played the lead character in Cats in 1960, whatever. No, it's like find the word is. It's right there,
Yeah.
and then that one's it.
Yeah.
It's like that, but
Really simple
it's
kind of
simple. It
things
turns
that
your
are
brain
just
off.
like,
It's
yeah.
it's almost active. It's almost like an active meditation to some point, to some degree.
There you go. Oh, love that. Look at you.
That's right.
Kind
Coining
of like that.
phrases. That's right. That's what I do.
Oh my gosh. All
All right.
right. That was a lot of
That's a lot.
apps.
That's like an hour worth of app discussion.
And I didn't think we would have that many, but
You
I
told me
think a
that
lot
too.
of these are super helpful. Um, of course, we shared some vegan ones. Those are great. Those are helpful anywhere and everywhere you go. The mental health ones we all need right now. Some of them are more like focused on a certain act, like meditating or sleeping. But, we put in some other ones in there that I think are really helpful. Productivity apps are super helpful. Physical ones. I think we did good. I like this list.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's going to help somebody.
There's some stuff in here that you mentioned that I don't have. I'm gonna have to check out.
Yeah, and some of the recommendations we got from friends, I'm
Yeah.
definitely checking out,
Oh,
like the
for sure.
Happy Color app for sure.
Oh, totally.
So we hope that this episode helps you. We want to hear what your favorite apps are that make your life easier in whatever way that might be. You can find us on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, or anywhere else you get your podcast fix. Make sure to leave us a review. Pretty please. We really, really need all your reviews. We're begging. And please recommend us to your friends, family, coworkers, anyone. Of course, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Average Vegans, or email us at theaveragevegans@gmail.com. You can find show notes, links like to all of these apps, and more at our website, theaveragevegans.com. Again, like we always say, we want to hear from you guys, especially about this episode. I really would love to hear your app recommendations because, like we said, we've learned some new ones today that we're definitely adding to our phone. So let us know. And that is it for this week.
All right. Well, until next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.